guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a different video from my last video and a few of my other previous videos from years ago. But today I just want to talk about things that beauty school in whole just doesn't tell students when they go to sign up, from the moment to you starting class, while you're in your classes learning, while you're getting ready to clock out for the final time, while you're practicing for state board, even after you've passed and got your license. There are just a bunch of things that they don't ever really tell students, and things that you don't learn or realize or even know until after you are licensed. I have a pen because I have a notebook, and if I do look down, it is because I'm looking at my points that I made in my notebook. If you guys do hear any noise going on, they're redoing the apartment next to mine, so they've been doing that for a week, and it's so annoying, but I literally have no other time to film this, so I have to, if I gotta deal with it, y'all gotta deal with it, so we'll survive. Okay, so the first thing I put on my list is technique. I'm going to start with technique because this one, I could go on and talk about this one all the time. I could make a full video just about about what they don't teach you on as far as technique goes. I know that there are schools out there like Aveda's and Toni and Guy's and Redkins and Paul Mitchell's and all of that. Those schools are schools that teach advanced hairstyling. So those are the schools that you would want to go to if, say, you have literally no clue on anything, like you just are fascinated with hair but you know literally nothing and you want to just learn, I guess, like professional ways and, techniques and things that they don't, things that you just literally don't know, and you see all the cool popular Instagram stylists and, Guy Tang and everyone use. I would recommend going to one of those schools because those schools prepare you for the real world. But the only downfall to that, I would say, is they don't really teach you state board. So what I've heard from people that I know that have gone to those schools like that, they say that they don't really learn state board. Like if they do learn state board, it's very rare. It's not until the end of, them graduating or when they're have 100 hours left. Like they don't teach them any real sanitation and state board things. They just teach them how to be a professional hairstylist or whatever, because I think most of those schools only do hair. I'm not sure if they teach esthetician or anything like that. Schools like the one I went to a school that's more of like a mom and pop, so it's family owned. It's not from any certain brand like Paul Mitchell or Aveda or Redken or anything. That school, they use Sebastian and Wella, but they're not a Sebastian or a Wella school. They are just your regular beauty school, your mom and pop beauty school that's been around for, I don't know, forever. Those type of schools are the type of schools that I would recommend going to if you have a bit more knowledge in any type of field. So the school I went to, they taught manicuring, they taught esthetician, barbering, and hairstyling, cosmetology. So that's the type of school I would recommend for people who, grew up in a family with a bunch of hairstylists, or they know a lot of different things, or, they're just really knowledgeable and can pick up on techniques pretty fast. Because this type of school, if I were to do it differently, my first choice was Paul Mitchell, but Paul Mitchell is over an hour away from where I live. And at the time of me going, I was 17, 18 when I first went. At the time of me going, I wasn't driving, so I had to take the bus to school. I feel like I would have been more prepared for the real world going to those type of schools. But the school I went to, they're more state board based, so they teach you more things that are how do I say this? They teach you state board. So from the moment you start school to the moment you leave, it is state board, state board, state board. They teach you basic everything. You learn one way to do it. If you don't do it that way, you don't know what you're doing. So that's the only thing I feel like with the school that I went to that did mess me up and mess quite a bit of people up, is that we go into the real world thinking, real world thinking, okay, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I learned everything I could in school. My haircuts were always perfect in school. Then you get into the real world and you go on these interviews where you have to do these practicals and they're like, what's this? Oh, you're taking a little too long, because they don't ever challenge you. The schools like that, they don't really challenge you. They just teach you what you need to know to pass. They teach you what you need to know to get by and do decent work, which is it's failure. They're setting you up for failure. Not saying anything is wrong with going to a school like that at all, because I did, but if anything, if you were, as far as like budget wise, only able to go to a school like that, like myself, I would recommend seeking out advanced classes. Like, I know that Salon Centric and I believe Cosmoprof also have advanced classes that you can take with different different professionals in the industry. And I know that certain brands have like online forums where you can go and you can learn from them. So that's something that I personally would say, if you were to go to a school that teaches you mostly state board, because no matter what, like, you are 100% prepared, no matter how nervous you think you are, no matter how much, no matter how terrible you think you're going to do on state board, you will be, I guarantee you, 1000% prepared for state board, just because those schools are so state board focused. They teach you the basics. So if you do happen to get, one of those elderly ladies that likes the same cut, nothing different, the same pixie, whatever, the same little perm, whatever, you'll know how to do those, because they're the same. The techniques are the same. They teach you things that people have been doing since the dawn of time. They don't teach you anything new, so you won't know truly how to adapt to a younger clientele. But that's like the only big difference between those two types of schools, is that one of them teaches you advanced everything. So they teach you, basically, you're working with professionals that are creative, I could say. And then the other school teaches you everything you need to know to pass your test to get your license, and that's that. The second thing I have on here is work and pay. So I know that there are a lot of schools that tell you, go and work at, like a mom and pop salon, making commission, you make more money that way, and go rent a chair because you take home all of that and just pay like $150 at the end of the week for that station and all of that. And that's great. That is great. That's what you want to do coming right out of school. Go for it. Do it, especially if you've been doing hair, nails, whatever, forever, then you already have your clientele. Go ahead and continue on that streak of making that commission, or renting that chair, or renting that little room, or someone just walked past and I got distracted. Going to the solo salons, or I think they're called Salon Republics. Going to those places, great, if that's for you. But for people who are, I would say, a bit more challenged with tech.
Gosh, these people keep bugging me. Why do you walk in front of my window? There's a whole other section over there to walk by. Sorry.
Okay, so if you are a bit more, challenged as far as technique goes, and you don't feel 100% comfortable charging people an arm and a leg just yet, because you know that you're not as good as you could be, don't be afraid to go work for a Great Clips or a Cost Cutters or Supercuts or any of those franchise places, because with places like those, they do train you. They're training you on everything, and I feel like training is the most important. Even with estheticians, I am both a licensed cosmetologist and esthetician. Some people are going to be like, what? Why do you have both? Because your cosmetology license in California, I don't know about other states, which is why I'm saying California. California covers everything an esthetician can do. And it's like, yes, to a certain extent. Because most places want someone with an esthetician license. So it doesn't even matter if you're a licensed cosmetologist or not. Like, they want an esthetician. So it's like, yeah, I have my cosmetology license, but that'll only take me so far, because most of the time when I went into interviews before I got my esthetician's license, people were like, oh, I forgot you guys can do facials. Oh yeah, you guys can do nails. I forgot about that. And because I didn't have the esthetician license, it wasn't anything other than an interview. So it's like, go and, even for estheticians, like I was saying, even if you go and work for a place like Massage Envy or inside of Ulta to, work with the Dermalogica pod or whatever, those places do train you. So if you feel like you want some stability, like if you have a family or if you're just not 100% ready to commit to being an independent contractor, basically, working for commission and getting your own room or having your own booth or whatever, I feel like working for places like that, like the franchises, is a really great place to start, because with places like those, you get medical, you get benefits, you get your hourly. Some places do hourly and commission. Some places do, you get paid your hourly, but if you do commission, you get paid whichever is higher. So they'll base your pay on whichever is higher. So say you make like, I don't know, $15 an hour, but you did over $1,000 worth of stuff for that week or that pay period or whatever, and based on how they do the commission, you would make more. You would get the commission because they pay you by whichever is higher. A lot of places are like that. There are some places out there that are minimum wage, but I mean, you just have to pick and choose and figure out which place is the best place for you to be at. I know that Supercuts is the place that they take people who are fresh out of school. They want people who are fresh out of school because they want to train them 100% on the Supercuts way of doing things, and they want to make sure that they're getting these fresh minds that are willing to absorb everything that they have to offer. So it's like, if you've been in the industry a little bit longer and you're finally deciding that you want to go and work for a commission, work for a franchise, because working commission or working booth rent is becoming a bit of a hassle, I would not recommend Supercuts, but Supercuts is great for people who are fresh out of school. They pay half of your student loans, like monthly. So whatever your monthly bill is for your student loans, they pay half of that each month. And if you've worked with them for 2 years, they do go ahead and renew your license for you, which is great. I love that idea. It's honestly the best thing that people who are fresh out of school can do for themselves. When I first was out of school, I was like, I'm not working for a franchise. Why would I go and work somewhere where the girl at Starbucks makes more money than me? Or why would I go work somewhere where my colleague or my classmate is making 10 times the amount that I'm making, and someone else is getting paid more, and then I'm not making anything basically off of anything I'm doing? I had to set my pride aside. I had to just go in and go for it and do it. And honestly, it was the best decision I've made. I've learned so much. I have been able to perfect my craft. I have so much more knowledge than I did a few years ago when I was being stubborn and hard-headed and did not want to work for a franchise at all. Like, I was willing to just say, forget this. I'm gonna go bag some groceries because I'm not doing this anymore. But honestly, you just have to choose which is best for you. I feel like I'm rambling here, but these are all great points that I'm making. Honestly, I've lost my point. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I suck. And I suck. Like, that's what it is. But yeah, I will probably make a part 2 to this because I wrote down some notes. Honestly, like, let me tell you, my handwriting is terrible, but I did write down some stuff, and I was like, oh, I can't think of anything. And then, like, once I started thinking and, like, talking, like, things started coming out, and, like, now I'm like, why did I set myself up for this? But yeah, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. But yeah, hopefully I'll do another part. I'll do a part 2 to this. Maybe not. I don't know. I've been up all morning. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. So my brain is like, and then I'm like supposed to go to the gym in like an hour. So I'm like really not here. I'm really not here right now, guys. So yeah, I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want more videos like this. Let me know if you guys want a part 2 with a bit more organization. I've been planning this video for a week now, and we see where this thing's at. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys share this video with all of your friends that are either in school, thinking about it, you know, might have done it, might have dabbled, might have dibbled, blah, 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 all of that. But until my next video, I have nothing else to say. Like, I'm a goofball, man. Like, I'm such a goof.
I've been on my hot shit lately.